All right, good morning, everyone. We'll call this meeting to order. Today is the 14th day of July, 2025. This is your 10 a.m. regular edition of Lavaca County Commissioners Court. And with that, we will start with a confirmation of roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Here.
Precinct 4.
Present.
The judge is here, so let the record reflect that all 5 of us are here, present and accounted for. And with that, we will stand with for our invocation and our pledges. Our most Heavenly Father, thank you for this wonderful day here in Lavaca County. Thank you for life, the life you gave us, for freedoms, for the pursuit of happiness, Lord. We just continue to pray for the families of everyone involved in the Texas Hill Country floods. The devastation is overwhelming. The pictures are coming back from some of our first responders, Lord, are devastating. And Lord, just be with those first responders as they're still searching for bodies. Be with them as they were helping communities reestablish themselves. And it takes an emotional toll, Lord, on all of us, and our first responders included. And we just ask that you be with them, comfort them, love them, and Lord, help us love you the same. And Lord, just help this governing body today as we make decisions for all of Lavaca County, from death certificates to birth certificates, from birth certificates to death certificates, Lord. We take care of everyone along the way in some form or fashion. And Lord, we just pray for healing in this nation and for the state and for our county as well. And we ask all these things in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Now our pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, thank you once again. Thank you for joining us, whether you're here in the courtroom today or whether you're live streaming with us today or you're watching this broadcast at some other time. We appreciate you. We appreciate that you're listening in to what your county government is doing for you. So with that, agenda item number 1, announcements, public comments. Do we have any public comments today? Any announcements?
I do. I have one comment.
Go ahead.
EOG Resources moved into Precinct 3 several months ago, and I just want to thank them for County Road 331 and 329. They gave us 110 loads of screen gravel in the amount of $80,000, and I just want to make an announcement and thank Corbin Livingston for making sure this gets done.
That was EOG?
That was EOG Resources.
Thank you to EOG Resources for that donation to our roads and helping us maintain those roads. EOG has been a wonderful resource. I know they're drilling in the county, but they're actually helping us with our road systems as well, so we appreciate that. Anything else? Anyway, just a quick little, we're in the budget process right now. This is budget season for us. It's crunch time, trying to get numbers together and find out everyone's requests, putting them together in a paper form, and having to decipher through some of those requests. There's potentially more requests than we're going to have money available, so that's the hard part of what we do up here as a court, but we are going through that diligently. Today we'll probably have a closed session around item number 15 with our county attorney. We have to work around the county attorney schedule today. They're in court, district court, so as we get closer to item number 15, not to say that 15 is a problem, we're saying as we get closer to that number 15, we're going to have a closed session with our attorney, if we can. Anything else? And it will be a short closed session, it should be. All right, going once, going twice, hearing none. Number 2, and this is a long agenda today, but we're going to try to go some of these we can probably fly through faster, but anyway, we'll try to go as fast as we possibly can. Number 2, discuss and approve the 2025-2026 vehicle inventory tax budget from the tax assessor collector. It's found on page 1 through 2. Anything tax assessor you want to say?
This, again, it's my vehicle inventory tax. This is the money that the dealers
When you say I, you mean the department gets to keep that?
And so, that interest can be spent on, individual, equipment in my office that I need. So it's very, very good.
This is showing their interest balance as of May 31st, 2025 is $4,256.25.
Correct.
And you're requesting to spend $2,000 of that on a scanner equipment
Yes.
and a currency counter.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion made to approve the 2025/2026 vehicle inventory tax budget from the tax assessor collector. The motion was made by precinct 4, seconded by precinct 3. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 3, discussion and approve per Texas Government Code 552, any changes to county policy regarding the cost of servicing Public Information Act requests and recovering all production costs, including employees' time, paper, toner, ink, copy, machine fees, compact discs, thumb drives, external hard drives, and/or any other related fees necessary to produce this information. There's no attachment on here. We brought this subject matter up again to the Court Advisory Committee. I think that was last week we brought it up. Several departments have policies, what they're charging. The Sheriff's Office compiled me a pretty good list. Standard copies is basically 10 cents per page. Oversized paper copies larger than legal size are 50 cents per page. We can charge time for our labor to compile the data and reproducing it, and that's at $15 per hour. One of the things that I do not think the Attorney General's office has addressed, it's the cost of thumb drives. In other words, if someone wants some data and I can't email us too much data, I'm not going to accept a thumb drive from somebody else. Neither should anyone else in this county. So the Attorney's office had a creative solution the other day where they sent an Amazon thumb drive. They ordered, the requester sent, ordered a thumb drive delivered by Amazon to his office for that data. I don't like that either, just in case it was compromised. So I think we're talking, it's nothing out of the ordinary for us to buy thumb drives ourselves, and then if your data is so large it needs to be on a thumb drive, just we sell the thumb drive back to that person if that's what they want. So that's going to be, going to ask y'all to make that policy going forward. We may seek an Attorney General's opinion. I don't think it's going to affect anything, but just wanted to bring this up for discussion at this point. PIAs are costing us time and money. I came up here Saturday and worked on 8 PIA requests that I had to do. I didn't have time last week, so I came up here to get them done on Saturday. So it does cost us time, cost us money. And specifically on all 8 of these, I don't have any documents pertaining to their request, but I still have to respond to them. So it takes time and it takes money to respond. Anyway, that's all I have to say about that. Does anyone have any questions or comments? But we'll continue to work on this subject matter and make sure that we're recovering our costs. I think it's someone's asking if it's of our time and money or the county's time and money, then they should have to pay for that if it's extraordinary. Okay, anything else on that? With nothing to discuss or approve, we'll move on. Item number 4, discuss and approve supplemental insurance broker for Lavaca County to begin October 1st, 2025 for fiscal year 2026. There's no attachment on that. Ms. Auditor, do you want to suggest anything to us?
My recommendation is to stay with the current provider, broker that we currently have, Foundation Benefits. We have a history with them. As Jonathan mentioned to you previously at the last meeting, we took the clients from Bev Osborne and Bond.
Claude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Claude Barnes, he took the clients from them when they retired and quit. We have a local person here that we can contact if we need assistance, and we just have them pool.
All right.
Yeah, well, basically, if an employee isn't satisfied with our supplemental insurance, they can
You can
go
go
out and
elsewhere.
get their own.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
they can talk to Jonathan themselves and
Right.
Okay.
deal directly with him rather than
And since our last meeting, I've had nobody complain about wanting to move or change or needing to change, so do I hear a recommendation to keep our current provider?
I will make a motion to approve to keep it the same.
Okay. Foundation benefits.
Foundation.
Okay.
Second.
All right, a motion is made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to approve the supplemental insurance broker for Lavaca County to continue through October 1st, 2025 through fiscal year 2026, and that is with foundation benefits. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 5, discuss and approve Envirotech Services Incorporated as a sole source vendor in accordance with LGC 262.003. It's found on page 3 and 4. This is Envirotech makes the base blind X road stabilizing product, and I say that's a sole source. So, auditor, you're needing approval that we can.
Anytime there's a sole source vendor and they have documentation that needs to be reported.
Okay.
This is report approval.
All right, do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve Envirotech Services Incorporated as a sole source vendor in accordance with LGC 262.003. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 6, discuss enter award round 2 of the concrete and labor bids for county roads. That's found on page 5. And I think, can we, we're going to approve the bids by project, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Maybe one commissioner, would you walk us through it, just to kind of read these bids, and then we'll go back and approve them?
Well, I'm gonna start with precinct 3. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jobs.
Okay?
And I'll start this way. County Road 302, Yansky Sand and Gravel was a low bid at $12,100. L&J Concrete was $17,850. And JRC Concrete was $23,750. County Road 350, which is shoring up a bridge, Yansky Sand and Gravel was $8,600. L&J Concrete was $79.65. JRC Concrete was $13,150. County Road 347, Yansky Sand and Gravel was $4,100. L&J Concrete was $1,700. And JRC Concrete was $3,100.
You lost me somewhere here.
Yeah, I don't see that.
Right here.
347, I've got.
Yeah, County Road 347.
I've got Yansky's at 4,100.
Yes.
L&J at 2,375.
I'm sorry. And then
$2,375.
Yes.
And then 3,100 to JRC.
Concrete, yes.
So L&J was the low bid.
Okay, County Road 320, Yansky Sand and Gravel was $8,700. L&J Concrete was $10,250. JRC Concrete was $12,360. And County Road 307 is $4,800 from Yansky Sand and Gravel. $5,950 from L&J Concrete. And JRC Concrete was $8,875.
Okay.
And then on the bids, we went out with a scope of work. And I can tell you, L&J Concrete, especially on County Road 302, they're $3,700 higher. He is going to put his rebar closer on center, and he's gonna also add a 40-foot bottom to that culvert pipe, where we won't have to worry about it washing out. And on the other concrete bids, they just said put concrete head walls and culvert ends. And then they were gonna use number 4 rebar, 16 inches on center. And County Road 302 is a high traffic road with some, it's picking up oil field traffic. I would like to accept L&J Concrete at $17,850 because they're gonna put more rebarb in there.
I have a question though, are we have an apples and oranges scenario again, just like we did before?
I know.
So it's not a competitive process when you're doing that.
Well, no, but when you ask for the scope of work, and I can read your scope of work and report if I need to. It's up to you.
I didn't open the bids, I didn't read them till, but right now I'm confused that we're having an apples and oranges effect that, like, okay, here's the bid process, and oh, but this person's gonna give us a little bit extra, and it costs us a little bit more.
Well, they all had a chance, they all looked at
I
it
get it.
together, and they all had a chance to write it up.
I get it. I understand that, but it's kind of we seem to have a problem of exactly what we want and bid exactly what we want.
Well, they knew exactly what we wanted, because they were all out there together at the same time, bidding on this.
All right, let me, before we go to approving bids, let's read precinct one's. Precinct one, if you want to walk us through yours.
Precinct one has a project on County Road 126. Yansky Sand and Gravel bid $24,400. JRC Concrete bid $29,355. I would like to award that to Yansky Sand and Gravel. Also have a project on County Road 390. Yansky Sand and Gravel bid $6,100. JRC Concrete bid $8,500. I would like to award that bid to Yansky Sand and Gravel also.
Okay, precinct two.
Yes. Bidder number 1792, Yansky Sand and Gravel, has the bid on County Road 218 and County Road 237. Their bid was $56.50. Bidder number 1794, JRC Concrete, was $12,950. So those bids, the 218 and 237, will go to Yansky Sand and Gravel.
Okay.
They both bid the same projects, but 1794 JRC Concrete will be awarded County Road 269 and 267 based on their bid and their specifications, and also County Road 214. They're the only bidder on that, and so 267, 269, 214 go to JRC Concrete,
Okay.
and 218 and 237 go to Yansky Sand and Gravel.
Okay. All right, so that's logical to me on 1, 2. Now let's go back to 3. Walk me back through it.
Okay, they all met at the same time, and we're all shown the same project at one time.
Okay.
Okay, and we all put in there, we have to have a scope of work. I have a description right here from L&J Concrete, what they're gonna do to the roads, how they're gonna slope the edges, and how they're, what kind of concrete and how thick. This is JRC Concrete. It says install concrete head walls and culvert head. Yansky Sand and Gravel on 302 will place 5 inches of concrete, number 4 rebar, 16 on center.
Okay.
And it's just more detailed, and with the amount of traffic I get on that road, that's why I want to accept that.
On 302, you're going to go with the higher bid. Okay. On the rest of them, you're going with low bids.
On County Road 350, I want to do the same thing for the amount of traffic. Well, that is a low bid, L&J Concrete,
Okay.
$7,965.
So 315, 347, you're requesting to go to L&J.
Yes.
Okay. 320?
County Road, that was County Road 350. County Road 347, I want to take L&J Concrete at $2,375. The other bids was $4,100 and $3,100.
You lost me on that one. On 320?
347, 4,100, 2,300.
340, 41, okay, so you're taking the 2375
Yes.
L&J. And you got, on 350, you're taking L&J.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, on County Road 320, I will take Yansky Sand and Gravel, low bid of $8,700.
Okay.
And County Road 307, I will take Yansky, low bid at $4,800.
Okay, all right. So I think I'm straight with this now.
The thing is that...
I'm gonna go back and recap this for the clerks.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, to recap, Precinct 1, we're accepting, Precinct 1, County Road 126, we're accepting Yansky Sand and Gravel's bid at $24,400. Precinct 1, County Road 390, we're accepting Yansky Sand and Gravel bid of $6,100.
Yes.
Precinct 2, County Road 269, we're accepting JRC Concrete of $4,506.25.
Yes.
County Road 267, we're accepting JRC Concrete's bid of $4,506.25.
Yes.
County Road 218, we're accepting Yansky Sand and Gravel $56.50.
Yes.
Precinct 2, County Road 237, we're accepting Yansky Sand and Gravel's bid of $56.50.
Correct. Yes.
County Road, Precinct 2, County Road 214, we're accepting JRC Concrete's bid of $66.95.
Yes.
I cannot see. Okay, then we're getting to Precinct 3, County Road 302, we're going to accept the mid-range bid based on specs of from L&J Concrete to, in the amount of $17,850, correct?
Yes.
Precinct 3, County Road 350, we're accepting the low bid at $79.65 from L&J Concrete.
Yes.
County Road 320, we're accepting Yansky Sand and Gravel's low bid of $8,700.
Yes.
And on County Road 307, we're accepting Yansky Sand and Gravel's low bid of $4,800.
You have 347 on there also?
What'd I get?
You skipped 347.
347, okay. 347, we're accepting the low bid from L&J Concrete of $23.75. Got it?
Yes.
Clerk's got it right.
And the reason I'm doing,
I'll get it. All right, that's the deal. I think we're good on justification unless you,
well, the only reason I'm gonna say, I know how the water is on those roads, and I wanna pay a little more to get more done, and why the other ones didn't do it, I don't know.
okay. Do I hear a motion to accept those bids as we just stated?
I make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 1 to award round 2 of the concrete and labor bids for the county roads as we just read and proclaimed. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Number 7, discuss and approve the purchase of a 2025 Kenworth T880 VIN number with the last 4 digits of 5611 for Lavaca County Precinct 1. That's found on page 6.
Yes, this is a new 2025 Kenworth tractor truck to pull a lowboy trailer, not a lowboy, a belly dump trailer. It is replacing a 1995 International truck that's on his last leg. The buy board number is 723-23. The price is $177,774.41.
Do I hear a motion?
I put that in motion, yes.
Second.
Okay. Motion made by Precinct 1, second by Precinct 2 to approve the purchase of a 2025 Kenworth T880 with a VIN number of 1XKZD P9X3SJ135611 for Lavaca County Precinct 1 with a sales price of $177,774.41. Motion was made by Precinct 1, second by Precinct 2. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 8, very similar. Discuss and approve the purchase of a 2024 Kenworth T480 with the VIN number of the last 4, 4042 for Lavaca County Precinct 1, found on page 7.
Yes, this is a tandem dump truck, a 2024 Kenworth, buy board number 723-23. It's a dump truck with a dump bed on it. It holds 14 to 16 yards. It'll replace a 1983 Army surplus truck, for lack of a better term. For a price of $173,153.09.
Do you hear a motion?
That is a motion, yes.
Okay.
Please.
Motion made by Precinct 1, second by Precinct 2 to approve the purchase of a 2024 Kenworth T480 with the VIN number of 2NK5LJ9X1RM364 for Lavaca County Precinct 1 with a price tag of $173,000, $173,153.09. Do you have any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right. Number 9, discuss and approve accepting reimbursement for repairs to damaged roads from Kaler Energy Corp. to Lavaca County Precinct 4 Road and Bridge account number 304-4000-8623 in amount of $12,000. That's brought to you by Precinct 4, found on page 8.
Yeah, this is some funds we received from Keller because some damaged roads, overweight trucks due to oil field traffic.
Okay.
Make a motion to accept.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Precinct 4, second by Precinct 3 to approve accepting reimbursement for repairs to damaged county roads from Kaler Energy Corp. to Lavaca County Precinct 4 Road and Bridge account number 304-4000-8623 in the amount of $12,000. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Kaler Energy Corp. for paying for those repairs. We appreciate you. Number 10, acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing the disaster proclamation concerning border security. It's found on page 9 through 10. Do I hear a motion?
I so move.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 2, second by Precinct 1 to acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing the disaster proclamation concerning border security. Any questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 11, acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing a state of disaster in a certain number of counties based on existence of serious drought conditions that pose an imminent threat of widespread or severe damage, injury, or loss of property. That's found on page 11, 12, and 13. I will say that proclamation acknowledgement came in late June before the floods, but it's important to note, I think, even in our own county, we are not in a burn ban. We're in pretty good shape for July, but our water tables are not necessarily in the same shape underneath the surface. So we are still listed in a drought, even though we're not in a burn ban. So it's kind of confusing to the public, but that's the way it works. So do I hear a motion to acknowledge the governor's proclamation?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 3, second by Precinct 4 to acknowledge Governor Greg Abbott's proclamation renewing a state of disaster in a certain number of counties based on the existence of serious drought conditions that pose an imminent threat of widespread or severe damage, injury, or loss of property. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 12, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Eric Joseph Yannick. That's found on page 1, that's found in Precinct 1 on page 14 through 18, and I believe that's off of County Road 1D,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
This is a piece of property on Lavaca County Road 1D. The owner is keeping 1 acre and selling 12 acres to his son, I think, and, or a family member, put it like that.
Okay.
And it meets all our specs for exemption, so I move that Lavaca County remove the subdivision regulations for this property.
Okay. Motion made by Precinct 1,
Second.
second by Precinct 2 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Eric Joseph Yannick on County Road 1D. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 13, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Marty Allen Yannick. That's found off of County Road 532D, found on page 19 through 22.
Yes, Your Honor. This is a 34.7 acre tract that fronts 532D, which is a county road. So it's all a part of the county road. It has access to it. So it's a family issue where they're carving out 11 and a half acres so that there's just a simple split. And based upon that examination of this determination that we should extend this and exempt them from subdivision regulations.
Okay. That was a motion. Motion made by Precinct 2, second by Precinct 1 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Marty Allen Yannick on County Road 532D. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 14, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for the estate of Doris Bay Ali, and that is found on precinct 1.
This is 3 tracts of property that the estate of, I call him Coach Alley and his wife Doris Alley. It's located on County Road 123. The first tract is 172.894 acres going to Lisa Faye Cross. The second tract is 172.894 acres going to Kelly J. Alley, and the third tract is 50 acres going to Shane Todd Alley. This property meets all of the requirements that it should not be a subdivision. It's third-degree family, so I ask that we demonstrate that we exempt them from our subdivision regulations.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 1,
Second.
seconded by precinct 2, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for the estate of Doris Faye Ali. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 15 is here. We got Forrest on his way or not?
No, we're doing the sentencing right now.
Okay, we're going to skip 15. I'm going to table 15 till we'll come back till he's available. Again, it's nothing major. We just he wants to address some issues with us. So we'll skip 15. We'll go to 16. Discuss and approve commercial lease agreement between Moulton Community Medical Clinic District and Lavaca County EMS. That's found on page 23 to 25. I'm not sure if we ever had an agreement with them in place, but based on their insurance requirements, they needed a lease agreement. We worked with the auditor's office on this, and that lease agreement is going to be for $1 per year for us to continue leasing their buildings for our EMS people. So just bring that to your court's attention, and I need a motion.
I so move.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the commercial lease agreement between Moulton Community Medical Clinic District and Lavaca County EMS Medic Station 5, to be correct. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 17, discuss and approve resolution authorizing the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office staff to act on behalf of Lavaca County to submit the grant applications for the Operation Stone Garden of the Office of the Governor. That's brought to you by our Sheriff Stephen Greenwell, down on page 26. Sheriff, you want to say a few words?
Judge, I know you're trying to move this along,
It's up to you. Good
I'll
morning.
be brief, I promise. Operation Stone Garden is a federal grant that, once approved, the county then is eligible to receive overtime benefits as a result of supporting the mission of that federal entity. In this case, it happens to be interdiction of drugs, aliens, guns, all of the above, all of what we do anyway. So we've tapped into Operation Stone Garden. We've become a friendly force with Goliad County SO, and once this is approved, we'll have $20,000 worth of funds to pull from overtime expenditures. That's it in a nutshell.
All right, do I hear a motion?
Motion to approve.
I'll second that.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3, to approve the resolution authorizing the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office staff to act on behalf of Lavaca County to submit the grant applications for the Operation Stone Garden of the Office of Governor. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Thank you, Sheriff. Appreciate you bringing some more money to the county
Yes, sir.
and doing the work you're doing.
Suppose I should stay put?
You should stay put.
Very well.
Number 18, unless attorney walks in. Number 18, discuss recognizing the Hallettsville Knights of Columbus for their generous donation of the KC Annex to be utilized during the recent Operation Lone Star operation. That's also brought to the sheriff. You want to say anything on that?
Again, a week and a half ago or so, we had our Operation Lone Star 3-day operation here where we had units, other law enforcement from all over the state participating in a joint operation to, again, look for drug dealers, gun smugglers, alien smugglers, all the above. We obviously needed a place to do an operational briefing, a large, secure, discreet location, and the KCs generously said, hey, you guys can use our spot. It was very accommodating, and we look forward to continuing that relationship going forward.
All right.
So we'd just like to say thank you to the KCs.
A huge thank you to KCs. They've always been very accommodating of allowing their building and services to use in times of disaster emergencies. We might ask that. I think Greg Morelli's going to give us a report later on, but the KCs is no longer a designated shelter. Is that correct? Maybe we'll talk about that more, but we don't have a designated county shelter anymore. There were some various reasons why we did that, or why the KCs did that at our direction as well, asking them. But it's at their discretion, basically not the Red Cross's discretion. That was part of it. Okay, thank you, KC's. Knights of Columbus, Hallettsville, 2433, and all you do. Who is the Grand Knight? Is that Ricky Stefik? It's not Ricky. He's past Grand Knight. Tommy Grauman Sr.? Tommy Grauman Jr. Philip Stefik.
Philip Stefik, Judge.
That's right. Okay. Well, thank you, Knights of Columbus, for all you do for the community. We appreciate you. All right, we don't need a motion on that. Number 19, we accept anonymous monetary donation of $1,825 to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office to pay the first half of the police academy. That was kind of a limited sentence there, but you want to elaborate on that?
I will. So we are sending a jailer who has met all the requirements that we put forward to go to the academy, the police academy this year. And upon graduation, that individual will come out and then serve as a deputy in Lavaca County. We had every intention of paying for that through funds that are currently in the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office budget. When I received a call from a individual in the community who wishes to remain anonymous and said that he and his wife would like to fund that position, having seen it on social media, would like to fund that expense on behalf of the county because they were pleased with the direction that the Sheriff's Office was taking. They just wanted to be a part of supporting the community and the good that's going on in the community. So that $1,800 represents the first half of the police academy because you only pay a half at a time. Once the individual passes, and for the record, it's Jenna Austin is the jailer that is going to the academy. And once Jenna completes the first half and starts the second half, then that second amount will be due, and I am told that couple who wishes to remain anonymous will then pay the second half. So just like to say thank you to that couple for this tremendously generous donation, and I assure them it will not go unnoticed, and it will go to good use.
Well, thank you to whoever did that to this donation. That's putting your money where your heart is, and
Thank you.
it's commendable. So thank you for that. A generous donation of $1,825. Do you hear a motion to accept this?
That's a move.
Second.
Motion made by Precinct 2, second by Precinct 1, to accept the anonymous monetary donation of $1,825 to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office to pay the first half of a police academy cadet. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Again, in the spirit of, it's hard, we can almost not recruit someone to town because there's no place to live. We don't have housing here, but growing our own is the way to go. And that's, I commend you, Sheriff, for continuing that effort of the Sheriff's Department. I know Sheriff Harmon started that back in the day, and this court supported it, and you're continuing with that, so appreciate it. Uh-oh, who did it? Someone broke a chair. Doug Kubitschek, you saw that. Your antique chairs are falling apart on their own.
We could get some folding chairs in here.
All right, number 20, discuss and approve interlocal agreement between Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission and the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office for E911 Public Safety Answering Point Services for the fiscal year 2026 to 2027. That information is found on page 27 through 50. Sheriff, you want to say anything to this? I know this is routine.
I'm going to read verbatim. The Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission's 911 program will be ending fiscal years 24-25 on August 31st of 25. New fiscal year will begin on September 1st of 2025 and end following year in August. The Commission on State Emergency Communication rules specify that an interlocal agreement for 911 services is required to document the relationship between the Regional Planning Commission and a public safety answering point, which is us, Lavaca County Sheriff's Office. That's what this, that's what we're signing today.
All right. Do I hear a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve the interlocal agreement between Golden Crescent Regional Planning Commission and the Lavaca County Sheriff's Office for 911 public safety answering point services for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, we've got a couple more sheriff issues here. Number 21, discuss and approve addendum 12 between Lavaca County and Local Government Solutions LP to add the sheriff's office as an additional licensed user. That's found on page 51 and 52. Basically, this is our court system, court record system that attorneys use. We use it. The clerk's office uses it.
JP's office.
JP's offices use it. So
Yes, sir.
pretty routine. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
I heard precinct 3. I heard 4. Motion made by precinct 3, seconded by precinct 4 to approve the addendum 12 between Lavaca County and Local Government Solutions LP to add the sheriff's office as an additional licensed user. And just for the public record, that fee is about $100, I think, isn't it? To add. Let's see here. Again, all this costs money, but it's necessary to communicate. Yeah, adding the sheriff's office to it adds $100 to our monthly bill. All right, do we take a vote? No. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4. Any other discussion or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, last but not least from the sheriff's office is number 22, discuss and approve declaring items on Exhibit A as surplus property to be sold on government deals. That's found on page 53. A lot of great-looking vehicles there. When no one else in the county wants the vehicle, you know it's a
Exactly.
great deal.
I was going to make mention of that. I've actually offered to all the commissioners here that they come on over to the car lot there behind the sheriff's office and see if there's anything they could use, and it was a resounding, nope, nothing we can use. It all needs to go. It's been, put it this way, Lavaca County's gotten their money's worth out of these vehicles.
I see my technology department, y'all can make these vehicles shine.
Was it offered to us?
Wasn't offered?
Come on by.
Yeah. We can always take it off of gov deals and if we need to.
If you like Tahoes, you have a handful to pick from over here.
Yeah.
On that list, there's a 2015 Chevrolet Tahoes, a 2016 Chevrolet Tahoe, a 2017 Chevrolet Tahoe, a 2019 Chevrolet Tahoe. All of these are tan, by the way. It's a great neutral color. And there's a 2020 Ford multi-purpose passenger vehicle. That sounds pretty good.
Multi-purpose, gentlemen.
Multi-purpose.
And what color is it?
That color is tan.
Okay.
All right, do I hear a motion?
Hold on, you got one silver 2015 Ford F-150?
Make a motion to accept.
I'll second that.
Okay. If anyone's interested in knowing about these items, we can get the judge's office to give you a copy of this exhibit. Who made the motion?
4 and 3.
4 and 3. Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve declaring items on Exhibit A as surplus property to be sold on gov deals, and those vehicles are all in the custody of the sheriff's department. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Sheriff, for your time
Thank
and
you all.
attention today. Number 23, is the attorney here yet? No attorney. We'll keep moving. Number 23, discuss and approve bond for Lindsay Guerrero, County Clerk for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 4, found on page 54 through 57. And I think, is Ms. Lindsay here in the courtroom today? She is. Lindsay, nice to see you.
Ellie, would you like to introduce her, please?
She's met a lot of you already when we.
You want to come up here? If you want to come on camera, I'm sorry.
Yes. Get you on camera.
Since she's here, she's...
She's here, you go, sorry. Last week, we were here to do her new hire paperwork, and we went around the county and met a few people, kind of introduced her so that everybody would have a name and a face. She started last week Tuesday, and we hit the ground running. And since we were on the agenda today, I said, please come with me so that you can meet those that you have not met yet. So,
Very good.
welcome to Commissioners Court. This is Lindsay Guerrero.
Lindsay, nice to meet you, and thank you for joining the team, and we'll save you of a acceptance speech.
I'll make a motion to approve, and I'll second that.
All right. Motion made by Precinct 4, second by Precinct 3, to approve the bond for Lindsay Guerrero, Court Clerk for Justice of the Peace, Precinct 4. Any other questions or comments?
Glad to have you aboard.
Yep, thanks for saying yes.
Welcome.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Welcome aboard, Lindsay. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Judge Hall. All right, number 24, discuss and approve annex parking lot improvements, including timing and demolition plans. I have no attachment. We did put an order into the city to take out the wiring, electrical service connections, identify the sewer and the water cutoffs. That's about as far as we've gotten. I'm considering calling a special meeting of the court that we would maybe meet at the annex courtroom and then go walk that property just to discuss the demolition of what we see before we put out bids to demolition it. If we want to demolish it, we haven't even voted the property to demolition it. But I think that would be a special meeting, maybe off-site, and we'll call that a later time. Probably won't be this week, but it could be next couple weeks. But again, if we call a special meeting, there will be a public notice. Do you have any other questions or comments? I think that the writing on the wall, there's some good metal on that roof that I think is valuable to somebody. Whether, someone would have to get there and take all that sheet metal off and stack it up and haul it out. But I'd like us to have our assessment ourselves of is it worth that, and how do we word our bids if we're going to go out for bids on this? Because there may be a bid for the metal, bid for the wood, and then bid for the brick and rock on it if they wanted that too. The rock would be the easiest thing for us to haul off. I see y'all can fight over where it goes after that. But anyway, any other questions on that? So there's nothing willing to discuss or approve at this point? But would y'all entertain a special call meeting? To meet out there?
Yes, I would.
Okay, all right. We'll get Nalene to coordinate that with the commissioners, with you guys, and make sure you can be available. All right, moving on to 25, Greg Morelli, everyone's favorite emergency management coordinator. If you would, state your name for the court, sir. Yes, sir.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners, members of the court. My name is Greg Morelli. I'm Emergency Management Coordinator for Lavaca County. I met with Judge Mudd last week, obvious reasons. We've had the historic flooding that's gone on in the Hill Country, and any of you that did not happen to watch the news this morning, it's happening again today on the Frio River. So the Hill Country can't seem to catch a break right now, and so one of the big discussions the judge and I had was, what is the status, what is the situation, what do we have in place for both the Lavaca and the Navidad rivers here in Lavaca County. Number one, understand very different situation here in the coastal plains than we have in the Hill Country. In the Hill Country, with the Guadalupe, the Frio, those rivers obviously form between steep terrain, and therefore that water funnels, and so they have a very, very serious situation when they have extreme amounts of rain in terms of flash flooding. We certainly can have some flash flooding here, but we do have the luxury here of being in flatland, and so a lot of our water, as it makes its way downstream, does spread out. However, as any of you know, I'm sure Doug more so than most of us, we have had some historical floods here in Lavaca County. So the first thing that I did after the weekend, last weekend when I got back, was I wanted to look at the alarm settings that we have. We have 3 recording stations or gauges on the Lavaca, just so that everyone knows. There's one on the bridge between Whitting and Kaminsky. That's our first one, our furthest one north. Then you come down to Breslau. There's a recording station on the Lavaca River at Breslau, and then we have the one here on the bridge here in Hallettsville. Everyone's like, well, the bridge in Hallettsville doesn't do us a lot of good in Hallettsville. It does anyone downstream good, but we really need to know what's going on north of Hallettsville in order to be prepared and be ready for that. The main thing that I did as far as the Lavaca is concerned, I went ahead and lowered our alarm thresholds 5 feet from where they already were. I did that with the purpose of both Tim Decker and myself. We kind of made some discussions. We want to have plenty of time to be prepared. We don't want minutes. We want hours. We want possibly days to be prepared to, if we do have to have an evacuation here along the Lavaca, to get people out. And so the other thing that we do have the fortunate of, and which I just, someone asked me the other day, have you gone to the hill country? And I said, I haven't. There are some opportunities that I could possibly get deployed, just so everybody knows that. But those of you that don't know, we currently have our emergency services chief, Michael Furr, is currently deployed to Central Texas, and then we have a ambulance unit, correct, Chief Decker, that is deployed as well, part of the EMT task force right now. But as the recovery becomes more, the emergency management side is going to become more involved, and so I could be deployed for a period of time just to help with recovery efforts and things like that. But as of right now, that hasn't happened. But the biggest concern that we have is, are we going to be prepared to have notification? So in looking at the gauges, both on the Lavaca and the Navidad, we lowered the thresholds 5 feet on all of those. The other thing that has come to light in this time is, how are we going to notify people? And one of the things that came to me was, hey, do you know how does the siren system work here in Hallettsville or on the river? Well, currently Hallettsville only has one siren, which is on the tower next to the fire station. It is currently inoperable and does not work. We actually were working on this prior to any of this happening in the hill country. We knew that this was going on. It's an electrical issue, but once they went up and started looking at the tower, they realized that the tower actually has some structural issues that are wrong with it as well. So they're going to have to look at fixing some of those structural issues as they repair the electrical issues as well. Yoakum just put in a new emergency siren about 8 years ago, and they are actually doing maintenance on it now. This kind of preclude that, so they're working on that. And then Shiner actually has 3 sirens in place in the city of Shiner. There's one actually in the neighborhood where I live. If you ever go into Shiner, as you're going in, on the left behind the Methodist church, so that's called the Miraz Edition. There's a siren in that neighborhood. There's one on the police station on a tower, very similar to what's here in Hallettsville. And then there's one on the north end of the city in Shiner. And all 3 of those are operational at the current time. What we're looking at is a way to be able to, those are all manually operated sirens. And so we want to be able to set those off from a central point. And so we're looking at how we can make that happen and how that can work. Moulton currently has no siren. When pagers came about several years ago, probably in the last 20 years ago or so, Moulton actually did away with their siren, because originally the sirens were set up for the fire departments to notify the volunteer firemen when there was a fire. But of course, nowadays we use them more in terms of weather than we do even for the fire notifications. And so Moulton doesn't have a siren, but they are going to be looking into the possibility with some mitigation money and things like that into possibly replacing that and putting a siren back in Moulton as well. The big topic, the hot topic, I feel sorry for the judge, for the mayors, for those folks in Kerr County in terms of the fact that they're getting beat up on by the media. But were there things that could have been done better? Absolutely. And that's why we want to look at this and make sure that we're getting our things in place and doing that as well. But the biggest thing, which is a misnomer, is about the alerts that were sent out from the Weather Center. I also want people here to understand this too. We do have the Code Red system. It's an opt-in system which you have to sign up for. So if you do not sign up for that, you will not receive those notifications from us. However, warnings from the National Weather Service do not come from the Code Red system or from my office. They come directly from the National Weather Service. And you do not have to have Code Red notification to get those warnings. If you have your emergency alert turned on your cell phone, no matter where you are in the United States, you will get those warnings as soon as they happen. You can be on vacation in Colorado. If you have your emergency alert settings set on your cell phone and there's a flash flood and you're camping in Colorado, you're going to get that warning when that warning goes out in Colorado, okay? So the ones who are saying that a warning system wasn't set, there were warnings sent because they were sent through the National Weather Service. The problem was the Code Red system is only going to send those if that piece is turned on. And I want to assure everybody, that piece is turned on in Lavaca County. If the National Weather Service sends out a warning, it does automatically alert our Code Red subscribers, okay? But it also makes sure, if you can, to have those settings turned on your phone. You can even turn them on where they will go off if your phone is turned off. You can set the settings on there, and you cannot override them. So they will automatically override them 4 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, whatever it is. So if you have more questions about that, I'm happy to talk about that outside of this. But again, we want to move forward. We're currently in hurricane season. Obviously, I spent a lot of time watching the weather. I'm a weather nerd anyway, being that I was a science teacher before. We do have a system that's sitting just off the Florida coast in the Atlantic right now that's going to move across Florida in the next couple of days. They do expect that to become a depression in the northeast Gulf of America. They do expect that to become a depression. And right now, there's about a 20 to 30% chance that it may scoop the coastline around the Gulf and make it all the way over to Galveston possibly. So right now, they think it's going to be a sloppy mess. It's not really, very similar to what happened in Mexico 2 weeks ago. Of course, that thing's still sitting over the Frio right now. So that's the same system that's caused all the problems we've had. So we're going to have to keep a very close eye on that and make sure. But right now, it does not look like it's going to be a threat to Texas. But again, we'll know more as we move toward the end of the week. Our emergency operations plan, our basic plan for the emergency operations plan for the county comes up for renewal in 2026. I'm currently working on that, looking at changes that need to be made, things like that. In 2027, our emergency annexes will have to be moved over to a new format, which is called emergency support functions. There are currently 22 emergency annexes. There would be things like individual things like fire, flood, critical infrastructure, things like that. They're reducing that down from 22 down to 15, and in 2027, we will change those and we'll migrate over to those. So those are all things that are going to be going on for me over the course of the next couple of years. Dispatch emergency contacts. And so I know this has always been an issue for the county, and we're really working hard on this. We actually had a situation yesterday that came up with this exact thing. And basically what it is, it's when we have events or things happen over the weekend or outside of our normal, what we call business hours, especially for the precincts, dispatch gets a phone call. Dispatch got a phone call last night about 6:15. There was a tree down on the County Road 230. And I don't know who they attempted to call. I don't know about all that, but it ended up calling me. I answered the phone, and they said, "Hey, Greg, can you go check this thing out?" I went to check it out. I tried to get in touch with some folks from Precinct 2. I ended up getting in touch with Mark, but he was in Oklahoma, I believe. And then I met a couple of Precinct 2 guys out there. The tree was kind of halfway in the road. They brought chainsaws, all that kind. I took my chainsaw out there. But I think we're trying to develop a better way to notify, whether it be the commissioners or whoever that is, making sure that someone's on call from each precinct to answer the phone. And then, right now it seems like it kind of falls to me, which I don't have an issue with. I'm ready to go do that. I just don't have the equipment at my disposal sometimes, to move a tree out of the road. I'm going to have someone help me. And so getting in touch with those. So we're working on those. And so those things. We had our most recent local emergency planning committee meeting. That was 2 Mondays ago in Yoakum. That committee is in place for anything hazardous materials wise. The Yoakum Fire Department had a very good presentation for us on lithium batteries, electric vehicles, and on BESS. If anyone doesn't know what a BESS is, that's an energy storage system. If you want to see what one looks like, drive between Shiner and Moulton. There's one on the GVEC plant there. Basically what that is a battery site for storage of energy so they can use that during at times of peak demand. We currently have one in Lavaca County. However, I do know in Precinct 4, Commissioner Koshin, I believe you're aware of this, we have a gentleman that wants to put a very large one in kind of in the very far corner of the county on the Victoria County line. And so we're in the process of seeing what's going to be done with that. It's just kind of the Wild West right now in terms of what we're allowed to do and not allowed to do in terms of those buses. So we're vested in that. The other thing is we're just really involved with some training. We had a New World Screwworm webinar back in June, early part of June. Those of you not familiar with that, that is a fly larva that could potentially affect our cattle industry here in Texas. It came about in the 40s. They eradicated it, and now it has come back in Mexico in force. And so they're trying to make sure that that doesn't make it back into Texas. I went to a well control access training in Quail on June the 9th, and then Public Safety Regional Advisory Committee, June 28th, and then I spent 2 weeks last week in PIO training in Victoria. In watching what's going on in the Hill Country right now, that PIO training has become very important in terms of them wanting to really get at the county officials and the city officials, not so much about the recovery and rescue portion right now. They want to place blame. And that's not the focus of the folks there right now. The focus there is to get people recovered, to find those things, and there will come a time when everyone will have to account for why certain things didn't happen. But you can see from the media, you know, it feels like we want to turn everything into a political discussion these days, and unfortunately it's not time for that. So we also need to be prepared for that. You know, if we ever have a situation happen here where judge, mayors, myself, the sheriff, we all have to stand in front of those cameras, being able to answer those questions what they are, and at the same time being able to say, hey, we're not answering those questions today, those are for another time. And so being prepared for that. But other than that, we do have a active shooter drill coming up at the end of the month on the 31st. We're doing an active shooter tabletop exercise at Lavaca Medical Center. We've also got a reunification drill going on at the Yoakum Medical Center. I actually have a meeting there tomorrow in planning that. That will be a couple of months from now, the reunification drill. And then next Tuesday, I'll be at a training at Phillips 66 out in between Speaks and Edna. And just kind of a quick update. Farm Market 2437 is still closed between Speaks and Sheridan, where we did have a pipeline rupture last week. If anyone has not seen what that pipeline rupture did to the road, it pretty much destroyed it, left a giant crater in the road. But they have been working on it. I'm actually going there after this meeting today to see the update. They're hoping to have the road open by Wednesday. So we'll see if that happens. Other than that, questions, comments?
Quite a report.
I hadn't been up here in a while, but there's a lot going on in emergency management, so there's a lot happening. So,
Thank you for your
yes, sir.
work.
Yes, sir.
The only thing I want to comment on is I guess we haven't convened as a court since the floods took place. Two things. I was on vacation before that flood took place, but I was getting notices from the National Weather Service and TDM 2 days in advance of the flood that, hey, there's a flood potential.
Absolutely.
So we were on vacation. You still look at the notices. Okay, that's not affecting us. I don't think it is. But I mean, you know, we have to monitor it, but you don't know. And I saw the somberness in one of the San Antonio weathermen. It's like we didn't predict anything else greater than 6 inches of rain. It's just that's what the models were showing.
Yeah.
And so there's mistakes everywhere, but you can't blame. This is
No.
a perfect storm. It happened in the middle of the night on a holiday weekend. Wow. And it
Just tragic, you know, and matter of fact, you were talking about that. My phone started blowing up 4th of July morning. I was at the coast, and my phone started blowing up because I have my phone with me all the time. And my wife's like, "What's going on?" And I got up, and I was there, and I said they've got some severe flooding in Kerrville, you know, and then of course we got the next morning and we start seeing the news. So the warnings were there. They were out there. I don't know what happened, you know, and I don't pretend that. But that, again, that's for another time. Right now, it's about giving people closure, and you know, there's 160 people still accounted for, and they finally said yesterday there's many of them that probably will never be accounted for, and that's a tough pill to swallow. So, anyway,
It's an incredible tragedy. I mean, it is, and it's one of those things that our entire state is grieving
sure.
over that. And to imagine sending your kid to camp, and you've done it for decades, and you've got multi-generational families doing this, and then to have this kind of loss. I mean, it is just, it's unimaginable, just the whole process of that. So I appreciate the judge's attention to that detail, and we do need to be mindful, and because it didn't happen here, it's easy not to do that. The thing, I want to go do something. I want to go help them, and I'm probably going to be in the way, because I don't have the skills for that. But I can pray, and I can say, hey, what can I do to help? I mean, there's relief funds. There are things that are going on that people are there offering help, and it's important that we not go about our daily lives and forget that, because it can happen to us.
Yeah, that's the one thing Judge and I we touched on a little bit that we really need to look into proactively. There's a couple of things. Number one is debris removal, having a debris removal contract in place prior to us needing a debris removal contract. And then the other thing is we really need to set up a monetary foundation here in Lavaca County for if we do have, because the scammers come out during these things, and they're out in force right now. And they already had a really good one in place. If you heard them talk about it, the foundation, the Hill Country Foundation of the Hill Country, they had that in place. It's got a board of directors, and people can give that money. That way, that money stays right there in Kerr County, and it's distributed by local people. No one outside the county does that. But you have to set up a foundation, you have to set up a board of directors, and that's probably something we really need to look at here in Lavaca County, is having that in place before we need it. So.
The only thing I was going to add is, again, continued prayers for our first responders. I've been in daily contact with Michael Kerr. He got deployed, and I talked to him last night. I've been talking to him near daily, and he's ready to come home, but he can't come home.
Right.
So you deploy for 14 days, and he already told him, I'm going home on Friday. So when his 14-day shift is over, but he said this is going to be a month recovery. So as he goes off shift, there's other people going to the scene. He explained last night how they're going. They've done their initial search. Now they're going back and doing it again, and with different equipment and finding more bodies. So it's taking a toll. And Tim, you may know this. How many? We have one crew that we sent. One crew. Okay. One of our ambulances and a crew on. So they're on a 14-day deployment as well. So they'll be there for 14 days as well. So
yeah.
There are different stages. For the media, Tatum takes over. If Michael Furr's in Lavaca County or Colorado working, he's got full authority of the court to be the media spokesperson for his events, for whatever happens there. He's on TDM's deployment. He does not have full disclosure to say whatever he wants to say about what's happening in real time. He's posting a little bit on his own pages, on Michael Furr's Facebook page, and he's posting what he can on the Lavaca County EMS page, basically to notify us that, hey, Lavaca County, we are involved in this process. So we do have people, we're contributing.
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, I'm subject to deployment. Right now, what they've done is they've deployed all the TDEM, the county liaisons. They've all been deployed to the Hill Country, but we would be the county emergency managers would be the next layer. And like Judge said, it's really going to depend on the amount of time this thing goes on. But we're talking months, not weeks here, in terms of the recovery, especially now that there's multiple places that have been affected. You've got the area north of Austin, Kerrville, and now we're looking at the Frio River area around Uvalde being flooding today. So it's going to be quite the event.
So people are asking, what can we do? I think TDM is saying they have enough resources on the ground. They've got personnel on the ground.
Yes.
They've got the equipment or apparatus to do those searches. Our EMS teams, or they're actually servicing the responders that are in the ditch, or
Yes.
in the creeks and ravines. If you can imagine this, none of us here in this court could probably walk for an hour down there without passing out, much less hauling off debris and stuff. It's hot, it's humid, and so they're providing aid to those responders. But that'll dry up, and they'll have to have another wave coming. So, but I think what we need right now is probably the public's awareness, monetary donations. Some of these people may need. But as far as Lavaca County goes and Colorado County, we're supporting the effort through TDM. So,
Thank you.
Anyway, appreciate your report, Greg. Thanks for what you do. Still no attorney? All right.
He did say I can act on it. Yes, we have availability.
Okay.
He doesn't know how long it will take.
Okay. Well, let's get through the rest of the items, and maybe we'll even go through consent and see if we still want to do that. All right, number 26, discuss and approve advertising for open positions in the road and maintenance departments for precincts 1, 2, and 4. And I believe, as I'm preparing the budget, I noticed that 1, 2, and 4 have open positions, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to do one joint advertising, y'all agree?
That sounds fine.
Okay, so Nadine, if you're in charge of that, we don't really have to approve that, that's something, but if you want to approve joint advertising, let's do that. Do y'all approve the joint advertising for those open positions 1, 2, and 4 in the road and bridge department? Do I hear a motion?
Second.
I heard 2 and
Second.
1. Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve joint advertising for open positions in the road and maintenance departments for precincts 1, 2, and 4. Kenny, your department's full. All right. I will advise the court, remember, we do have contingency funding. If you know if someone's going to retire in a couple months or 3 months, that we can go ahead and advertise for that, and you can participate in that. But anyway, motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 27, discuss and approve road plan and paving updates. I know y'all were busy last week.
Yeah, we were busy last week and we keep on going. Everything's working well.
Knocked out a lot of roads. 4 miles. What'd you do?
Approximately 5+ miles.
5+ miles got paved last week in Lavaca County. That's a good day, good week.
Yeah,
Um,
everything's good. Good
I'm
for Operation
Proud of you guys,
Yeah.
working together, and,
Yes.
one of,
A little bit this weekend too.
one of the things I know we talked about early on was, sending 2 guys from each precinct to go pave when we go pave. And maybe, if I'm hearing right, maybe I'll need 3.
It takes a little bit more, but we're working it all out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Working out well.
All right, well, good job on that. Anything do we need to prove, anything on that? I think precinct 2, you're about to get hold of that machine?
Boy, I hope so.
Look out.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with what's going on in all the precincts, and they've done a really good job. So I just appreciate it. It makes our group excited to be able to be a part of that. So I'm grateful for that.
All right, good deal. Well, this is paving season, I guess, except for a few rain showers here and there.
Everything's going smooth.
All right. All right, we have nothing else to approve on number 27. We'll move on. Again, we'll probably have an executive session here just a little bit, but let's go ahead and do our consent. Number 28, let's move into the consent agenda. Unless a member of the court requests a separate consideration of any items, all under the consent agenda are considered to be of routine nature or have been previously deliberated by the court in an open meeting and therefore may be approved by one motion, second, and vote. Do I hear a motion to approve the consent
I'll
agenda?
make that motion.
Second.
Okay, motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. We have approved the consent agenda. We are in consent until we get through signing paperwork, and our microphones will go off during Back on? All right, we're back out of consent agenda. We're waiting on our attorney to come back down from district court, so this is perfect timing. We're going to go back and open up announcements, public comments. We have a special guest here today. If you'll make your way forward, Mr. Scott Bauer is here. Scott is the new district, well, I'll let you introduce yourself. Congressman Cloud's office.
Thank you, Judge Mudd. Yeah, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm Scott Bauer. I'm the new district director for Congressman Michael Cloud. And Mark Longoria, which you guys, most of y'all probably know, he's going to be the chief. So he's moving up to Washington, D.C. Isn't that wild? So, yeah. And then Christian Palacios is our field rep for this area. So he's been doing a great job keeping us informed of everything. But I just want to make introductions and say we're here to serve and be that bridge to the federal government. And so y'all know that Michael's an amazing congressman, and so we're very blessed to have him. And anything I can do to serve you guys, I just wanted to come say hello and make an introduction. So I appreciate the time.
Do you want to give your cell phone number out on public record?
Yeah, you know it, yeah. Maybe next time.
Okay.
But anyway, yeah, we'll get all that information
If
to
you
you.
get your contact information to Nailene, that would be appreciated.
Sounds
Nailene
good.
is our court coordinator and also the head
Okay.
DJ. Of the
Wonderful,
court.
wonderful. Yep, I sure will. Anyway, it's a pleasure, guys. Thanks for all you do. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks for coming. And tell Congressman Cloud we said good job. I will. We think he's doing it awesome. All right, we're going to now, I got my cue. We're going to go into, we're going to go back into 15. We're going to have an executive session back here in my office. It shouldn't take maybe 5 minutes. So to have a motion to go into executive session.
I make that motion.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to go into exec session, and the time is 11:19, and that will be back in my chambers. We'll take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll be back in the office. Okay, so did we vote on that? Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to go into exec session. We're going to take a 5-minute recess before we go into exec session, but the time is 11:19 officially. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign.
Yes.
We're in exec session. All right, do I hear a motion to, court's back in session. Do I hear a motion to adjourn from executive session?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Okay, I don't remember, motion made by precinct 3, seconded by precinct 2, to adjourn from executive session. All those of adjourning from executive session say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. That time is, 11:31. 11:31. Okay. The only other order of business we have left is item number 15. Discuss and/or approve subdivision application filed by Richard Fraser requesting a certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements as found out of precinct 1. And I've got the paperwork on my bench. You want to walk us through it, Mr. Commissioner?
This tract of property is on County Road 134. It's 185 acres and it's divided in 3 tracts. After examining the application and finding Commissioner's Court at Lavaca County, this certificate of exemption should be extended to Richard Fraser based upon the determination that the application adequately demonstrates eligibility for the exemption of Lavaca County subdivision regulations under section 1.3, provided that all driveways are private and shall remain the property of the owner and owners of the property. The construction, repair, maintenance, such driveways, any associated drainage improvements will be the responsibility of the owner and subsequent owners and will not be the responsibility of Lavaca County. Further provided, if any land described in said application is further subdivided, the platting requirements and section 2.7 streets and roads standards of Lavaca County subdivision regulations shall apply. So with that, they do, and if it's ever subdivided again, it has to come back to the court.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
Is that your motion?
That's the motion.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, seconded by precinct 2, to approve the subdivision application filed by Richard Fraser requesting a certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements. And noted for the court's records is Mr. Pushka just read from that application, that certificate of exemption that was prepared by our attorney. And again, most notably that any further subdivision would have, all our subdivision regulations would apply if they're going to further subdivide that property. All right, did I misstate anything? Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes.
We're aye over here.
Huh?
Aye. We're
Aye?
Aye.
You're opposing or you're?
No, we're aye. We're in agreement.
It's getting late.
We got 2 ayes on this.
We're one, sir.
It's only been an hour and 35 minutes. I'm sensing some delirium. Okay, any other business? Do we have any other business? If not, can we sign that after court? What's the difference from signing right now? What we can say it was signed.
Do it. In this same thing? Okay.
Our microphones are still going. We are still on the record.
Wednesday, unless you hear something different.
Yeah, I think we got a chance for sure.
Thank y'all.
I think you can get it done.
All right, last but not least, item number 29, announce the next meeting. July 28, 2025 at 10 a.m. will be our next meeting. We will have a budget workshop on the 23rd at 9 a.m. That will not be broadcast live. And we may have a special call meeting if I can get some schedules from you guys to go over and look at the annex project somewhere along the way. So just letting the public know. Any other business of the court? Hearing none, motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. We are adjourned till July 28th. Thank you very much.